The shoemaker selects a roll of dark burgundy leather. He unrolls it onto his workbench and uses a silver pen and templates to trace the patterns for the shoe's upper parts, the vamp, borders, and straps. Using a specialized, curved shoemaking knife, he carefully cuts out the individual leather pieces along the traced lines. He uses a hammer and a pricking iron to punch a line of stitching holes along the edges of the leather pieces. With a skiving knife, he thins the edges of the leather from the flesh side. This reduces bulk where the leather pieces will overlap and be stitched together. The artisan begins hand-sewing the apron to the main upper using a traditional 2-needle saddle stitch. He then hammers the seam flat to ensure a smooth finish. He moves to a vintage mechanical sewing machine. He oils the machine and uses it to stitch the decorative saddle strap across the instep, and to close the back heel seam. The fully assembled leather upper is now complete. The shoemaker brings out a large, thick hide of vegetable tanned leather. He traces the shape of the insole using a template and cuts it out. He skives the edges of the insole, sands it smooth, and applies water with a brush to make the leather pliable. He then places the insole onto a wooden shoe last and secures it temporarily with nails. Using a knife, he trims the excess insole leather flush with the edge of the wooden last. He then begins carving a holdfast, a raised ridge or channel around the perimeter of the insole where the stitches will eventually go. He uses dividers to mark precise lines and continues to refine the holdfast channel with various carving tools. Paste is applied to a stiffener piece that is inserted into the heel area to give the back of the shoe structure. The shoemaker places the leather upper over the wooden last. Using lasting pincers, he pulls the leather tightly over the edges of the last and insole, securing it in place with nails. He repeatedly pulls, hammers, and nails the leather to mold it perfectly to the shape of the last. The upper is fully lasted, with the edges tacked down around the entire perimeter. He wraps the shoe in a protective plastic layer, leaving only the bottom exposed. The shoemaker performs hand-welted stitching. Using a curved awl to pierce the holes, he sews a leather strip, the welt, through the upper leather and directly into the hold-fast channel of the insole using thick wax thread. He hammers the welt flat. And uses a knife to trim away the excess gathered leather from the upper that sits below the stitch line, creating a flat surface. A layer of cork paste is spread into the central cavity of the shoe bottom. This acts as cushioning and will mold to the wearer's foot. He sands the cork flat once set. A thin piece of leather is cut, skived, and glued over the midfoot and shank area for structural support. He unrolls heavy, rigid sole leather, traces the shoe profile, and cuts out the main outsole. If you enjoyed watching the traditional hand-welted process behind craft kicks, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. He skives the edges of the inner side of the outsole. Glue is applied to both the bottom of the shoe and the inner side of the outsole. The outsole is pressed onto the bottom of the shoe. He hammers it aggressively to ensure a tight bond and trims the excess sole leather around the edges. He uses a heated edge iron to compress and shape the welt edge. Then, he cuts a shallow slit, a channel, around the perimeter of the bottom of the outsole. He hand stitches the outsole directly to the welt. Using the channel, he just cut to recess the thread. He applies glue inside the channel and folds the leather lip back over the stitches, hiding them completely. This is called a closed channel sole. He hammers and smooths the edge. He begins building the heel block by stacking and gluing crescent-shaped layers of thick leather. He trims the excess with a knife and sands it down. A combination leather and rubber top lift is glued to the heel. He secures it permanently by hammering brass nails into the heel. He uses a rasp, glass, and sandpaper to smooth the sides of the sole and heel block until they are perfectly flush. Let me know in the comments, which specific technique in this entire process was the most satisfying to watch. He then paints the edges with a dark dye. A hot iron is applied to the dyed edges along with wax to burnish, seal, and polish the sides of the sole and heel. The shoemaker dyes the bottom of the leather sole. He uses sandpaper to create a specific finish, applies more dye, and burnishes it with a cloth and wax until the sole has a smooth, glass-like finish. He applies glue and attaches a thin, textured rubber half sole over the front area for traction. He then screws a metal toe tab onto the very front tip of the sole to prevent premature wear. The protective plastic is cut away. He uses a specialized tool to remove the wooden last from inside the shoe. He then removes the temporary nails from the inside of the insole. The final stage is polishing. The shoemaker applies shoe cream and wax, buffing the leather upper with brushes and cloths to achieve a high shine. Wooden shoe trees are inserted. The video ends with a showcase of the finished, hand-welted loafers, a perfect standard for Craft-Kick's craftsmanship. I've left an affiliate link in the description and in the pinned comment for all the materials